Look, in this video, I'm going to give you the proven step-by-step process I would use if I had to make $10,000 online in a month as quickly as possible. This is the same process that allowed me to make upwards of $1,000 a day at only 21, and by now, I've helped a few dozen people to get their first customers, so I know for a fact when you apply this formula, it works. Now, if you don't give a damn about making money from your laptop, being financially free, then click off this video right now, and I don't care, it doesn't affect me. But if you're sick and tired of working a dead-end 9-to-5 job just to pay your bills, if you crave more freedom and more abundance, you're in the right place. Now, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, why should you listen to me? My name is Fred, and I'm an entrepreneur from a lower middle class background. I went from having only $400 to my name over 5 years ago to making upwards of $1,000 a day at 21 selling services and consulting. The first thing you need to understand is that if you want to be successful and make $10,000 per month online, you need to stop worrying about morning routines. A few years ago, to be honest with you, I was obsessed with morning routines. I wanted to get up at 5 so I could meditate, read books, take a cold shower, and I thought if I were to do all of these things, then surely I would end up more successful, because after all, that's what all of the big gurus were talking about. So surely, because they had so much influence, then it must have meant they knew what they were talking about. So I remember just forcing myself to get up early at 6 a.m. and I would spend the first 30 minutes of my day essentially just reading books. And I did that for months. And guess what it got me? Did it make me more money? No. Did it get me more leads, more customers? No. Sure, it gave me some ideas, I learned a couple things, but if I'm being honest with you, I've spent my whole childhood watching so many YouTube videos about self-improvement, about making money, about marketing, that it's like all the books I read, I pretty much knew almost 90% of the contents anyway. At some point, I'd forced myself to get up extremely early to take a cold shower, so sometimes it was very difficult to force myself out of bed in the morning, because let's be honest, in the winter, when it's cold and dark and rainy outside, if it's like 5-6 a.m, do you really feel like taking a freezing cold shower? No. Now sure, doing that can build up your discipline, but there's another guy who's working on the right activities. He doesn't meditate, he's getting up at 7 or 8, and he doesn't take cold showers, and he makes more money than you. Instead, what you need to do is to focus on the activities that make more money, and typically that's going to be different depending on what business model you're utilizing. But the most efficient way to make money online, even if you're starting out from complete scratch, you're a complete beginner, is to reach out to potential customers or to make content to gather attention. Then it's taking sales calls and closing leads. And finally, making sure your customers are satisfied. But 80 to 90% of your time should be focused on the two most important activities, which would be getting eyeballs in front of your offer, so getting leads, and then taking sales meetings with potential customers. I'll tell you what, the reason you're still broke right now, it's because you're not getting enough visibility. You don't know how to get customers. You don't have a full pipeline. Tell me, if right now you were booking 10, 20, even 40 meetings per week with your ideal customers, do you seriously think that even if you were just a beginner at sales and you follow the framework, you wouldn't close at least a few deals every week? Of course you would. You'd be making more than $10,000 per month, in fact. Now, I personally know a guy, he's into income, I won't say his name or anything, but he basically sends out about 24,000 cold emails per month. And guess how many meetings with his potential customers he's booking per month? 5 to 4 meetings maximum on a good month. While I'm literally able to wake up and I open my email and I see 6 new booked calls while I was asleep. Now, obviously, I can't go really too in-depth in this video. It would be 5 hours long otherwise, believe me. But if you want to discover exactly how I went from struggling financially over 5 years ago, only having $400 in my bank account, to making upwards of $1,000 a day at 21, I've recorded a free video in which I share with you my step-by-step process. That way, you can literally just copy me. Or if you're committed to building your business so you can become financially free, take back control over your own life, you can directly book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. All of the links will be in the description. Now, the next thing you need to understand if you want to make $10,000 per month is that you need to make mistakes for free. Especially if you're a beginner, this is crucial. Most of the online business models you'll see on YouTube or on other social media platforms, the truth is they're marketed towards beginners, but they're not meant for beginners. Why? Because typically, profit margins are very low and they require you to use paid ads in order to get customers. Dropshipping, to give you an example, is a very popular online business model. It's sold to you as the perfect business model because you can make money from the comfort of your bedroom without having to show your face online, and on top of that, you don't have to buy inventory up front. So the product is only shipped to the customer once you get a sale. So at first, it looks interesting, it looks risk-free. But let's do the math together. Let's say you wanted to make $10,000 per month. If you were to sell a product for $50, this would mean that you would need 250 new customers per month to hit that goal. That's 250 new people you need to convince to buy from you every month. If you think it's easy to do, you're fooling yourself. But let's say you were successful with some kind of business model like dropshipping. Because profit margins are so small, you would still be broke even though you made $10,000 in a month. Don't believe me? Typically when you're doing e-commerce and especially dropshipping, profit margins are going to be around 9% on the low end up to 20% on the higher end. So if you made $10,000 in 30 days with your dropshipping business, that's revenue not profit, in profit you would only keep around $900 up to $2,000. And remember, that's before taxes. You will need to pay taxes as a company, corporate tax. So typically in most countries, the average is going to be 25%. So after paying your corporate tax, you will be left with $675 all the way up to 1.5k. And remember, initially you made $10,000, but that's not even the worst part. If you wanted to utilize that money to literally just pay your rent, your groceries, you can't do that because it's the business's money, not yours. So what this means is that you will need to pay taxes again as an individual this time. It's going to depend on your country and how much they tax you. I mean, if you live in Dubai, obviously you don't pay any taxes, and it's the main reason why a lot of people move there. But in most countries, typically, if you pay yourself with dividends, it's going to be around 30%. Now, if you were to pay yourself a salary, you would need to pay taxes and again pay income tax, which typically goes up to 45%. So what this means is that at the end of the month, after you pay your corporate tax and after you pay your income tax or your dividend tax, you are literally more broke than somebody working at McDonald's. And you're probably working 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week on your business. When remember, initially you made $10,000, and that's exactly how so many of these dropshipping gurus are able to fool you, because they show you, look, I've made $10,000, but how much did they keep? $675. Now instead, if you were to sell services or consulting, profit margins are typically between 80% all the way up to 98%. So this means if you made $10,000, you would keep before taxes $8,000 to $9,998. Now tell me, which business model is worth it? When you sell services, you can charge anywhere from $500 up to $5,000 per customer. Now of course, it depends on what you sell and who you sell it to, but literally anybody can get started, even with no previous experience or skills. There are 3 ways you can satisfy your customers with this business model. You can deliver services for others. Let's say you have a skill, you can sell it as a service. Or you can consult people, so teach them how to do something. Let's say in the past you were overweight, you lost a lot of weight, and now you're in great shape. A lot of people would be willing to pay you a premium price to learn how they can do it too, because that excess of weight is destroying their health and destroying their confidence levels. So it's a painful problem people would be willing to pay a lot of money to solve. And finally, the 3rd way to sell services or consulting online is literally to sell a service even if you don't know how to deliver that service yourself. And the way you would do that is by leveraging remote contractors. So your job would be to find customers, close the deals, and then you outsource the work to a freelancer, a contractor. Some people say, oh, that's not a real legitimate business model, but that's what CEOs all over the world do. When you get an Uber, you don't care if it's the CEO or the founder of the company who drives you to your destination. All you care is that you get to your destination on time and for a fair price. When you sell services, it's literally the same thing. Now what comes after that is creating a killer offer. Now after trying every possible method to come up with killer offers, after reading so many books on how to craft great offers, after joining many training programs, what I've found is that typically if you sell something to a business, so you're doing B2B, business to business, the best thing that you can do is to provide a 10x return on investment. Because think about this, if you could go to a business and tell them, I'm going to make you an extra $20,000 per month, guaranteed, but in exchange, I want $2,000 per month. If it was guaranteed that they would make an extra $20,000 per month, don't you think they would be willing to pay you that $2,000 a month? Of course they would. If you could guarantee me an extra $100,000 per month, I would pay you $10,000, even $15,000 per month. It's like if I sold you a $10 bill for $1, assuming it's real money, you'd be insane to say no. Now if you're selling something to consumers, so B2C, business to consumers, let's say you're helping people to overcome an addiction, to lose weight, to fix their marriage, to get more dates, you can't exactly provide a 10x return on investment financially speaking, but instead what you can do is to help the person overcome a painful problem. You need to make it very clear how it's ruining their lives and how much better it would be if they fixed that problem that they have. And that allows you to charge a premium price, because people don't care about paying you for coaching sessions. The only thing that your customers want is getting rid of that painful problem and getting the thing that they want. Now the step that comes after that is to sell it before you build it. So what do I mean exactly? I've seen people waste months of their life trying to craft a pretty ebook or build a great online course, but then what happens is that they have nobody to sell that ebook or that course to. So they've spent months of their life building a decent product, but nobody buys it because they don't have visibility. And the reason why they started with that ebook or course in the first place is because online they see their favorite influencers making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, even millions of dollars per month, doing exactly that, selling these kinds of ebooks or even courses. Except that the reason it works for them is because they have a massive audience. They have millions of loyal and committed fans ready to buy anything they release, it's probably not the case for you. Not to mention that it's extremely difficult to achieve. I've been making YouTube videos for over 2 years, and at the time I'm recording this video, I'm just under 3,000 YouTube subscribers. And you would be surprised to learn that I'm already in the top 15% of all YouTube channels. To be in the top 1% on YouTube, you only need around 95,000 subscribers. So when you see somebody with over 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, they are already in the top 0.1%, not even just top 1%. Yet, if you look at most of the videos recommended to you on YouTube, you'll see that most of them are from big channels. So what you want to do instead is to sell your product before you even build it. That way, even if nobody buys it, even if it's a complete failure, guess what? You don't run the risk of wasting months, even years of your life building that product. Instead, you hop on a meeting with potential customers and you figure out what are their problems, what do they need, and then you sell them that solution. So not only will you be able to sell the perfect solution to people, but on top of that, you only get to work after you've gotten a customer. So if your offer was wrong, if you pitched 100 people in sales meetings and nobody bought because nobody was interested, you can move on to a new offer or a new niche, but it allows you to get feedback. So look, you need to make a choice now. You can keep watching YouTube videos on how to make money online, but doing that won't earn you more money. Or if you're committed to building your business so you can finally become financially free, you can check out the free resources in the description below or directly book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. That being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together let's blow up this YouTube channel to empower ambitious individuals across the globe to become financially free.